Hi boys and girls, this is Miss Payne. We're going to extend our learning today from this morning on rural and urban areas into social studies and also learning about labels in a text. This is the chart that I developed this morning to describe rural areas versus urban areas. And our outcome today is I can use other words for urban and rural. And the text today that I'm going to be reading to you this afternoon, it has something new, and each page is going to have a label. A label will look like this in the text. It'll be a little bubble, and it will point to an area, and this says a label will look like this. And the purpose of a label is there so that readers will know what things are in a text. Okay? So it's going to kind of give you a simple word for something else to help you understand. And I will point out the labels as we go on the first two pages, and then I'll let you help me on the other. But our book today, or this afternoon, is Off to School We Go. And if you look very closely before we read, because labels are not something common in a text, and you know that just from the reading that you've done. But I noticed first off that I had labels on each page. So I wrote label and pointed to here so that you would know what a label is. So this tells me that buildings is a label for these two things right here. So this label's purpose is to show you what a building is. And this has a label fields, and it's pointing to a grassy area with no trees. That is a field. And the same with country, and the same with city. So listen carefully as I read to you. Matt lives in the city. Matt and Dad walk to school. They see many buildings. So we have a label that says city. So let's think, what is another word that you can think of for city? Would it be urban or rural? Ready? Some think time. What's the word? Urban. Look on this page. Emma lives in the country. She walks to school with her friend. They see many fields. And here we see the label fields that identifies what a field is if you are not sure. And this is the label country. So now let's think. Look at this picture and this picture based on our prior knowledge from this morning. When you see the word country, what is another word for country? Would it be urban or rural? Ready? Some think time. What's the word? Rural. Very good. On this page, I did not identify the labels because I think you can pick them out pretty easy. Matt sees a sign. The sign means walk. How many of you see the label? Give me a thumb up if you see the label or a thumb down. Very good. This is the sign. It says sign and it points right here, and it tells them that they can walk now because on the picture there's a person walking. We're not very familiar with these things here in Moundville because we are considered rural. But in urban areas, these are extremely common. Emma sees a truck. The driver says, "Please cross." And then we have labels as well. Truck, which points to the truck. Driver, it points to the man. Now, if you look carefully, the way that they're crossing the road is extremely different. He has a stop sign. They have a light that tells them when they can go and when they cannot go. This stop sign is here to make the vehicle stop and then the people cross. I see more labels. I see 2 labels, store and hat. And you can't see the line, but it's pointing to the hat right here on the mannequin. And look, the little boy's pointing to it. Matt sees a hat in a store. I like that hat, says Matt. And Matt is with Dad again. And remember, they are in an urban area. Emma sees a pumpkin in a field. I like that pumpkin, says Emma. And we're again looking at the labels. Pumpkin, which points to the pumpkin, and the field, which points to the field. Now, this is not a grassy area like the other fields were. This is ground that has been plowed for planting crops, which is very popular in a rural area, not in an urban area. Matt lives in the city. Matt sees buildings. Emma lives in the country. Emma sees fields. What do you see where you live? Think about that and think about the key words that go with urban and rural. Rural, you can identify with fields. Urban, you can identify with buildings.